I'm pulling up the Trump tweets because it was a couple days ago. Here we go. I'm just going to read this as he wrote it. After consultation with my generals and military experts, please be advised that the United States government will not accept or allow transgender individuals to serve in any capacity in the U.S. military. Our military must be focused on decisive and overwhelming victory and cannot be burdened with the tremendous medical cost and disruption that transgender in the military would entail. Thank you. That is a quote from Donald Trump, who 100% did not write that himself. But that is what he has put out. So how will the military respond to this? We'll have to wait and see. But we know how Fox News has responded to this, something that you all do a very good job of at Media Matters, keeping tabs on Fox News. What was the reaction there?
Well, Fox News actually was initially a little quiet about it. It took them a while to get started, to cover it during the day. They waited to probably about midday before they did their first straight news report on it. But it was really got rolling with Tucker Carlson. As one would expect, Tucker is, not what we would call a friend to the LGBT community. So he was supportive of Trump's move. He, again, cited this bogus talking point that the allowing transgender service members to serve openly would somehow cost too much money, would affect military readiness. Of course, that's not accurate. But many military research has been done, like the Rand Corporation, for instance, showing that the cost is so negligible that it actually costs more to cover VIAGRA than it would.
That stat alone is like, come on. Like, how much money are they saying that when he talks about the medical costs, how much money are we realistically talking about?
A few million. Not much. Yeah. I mean, it's literally
drop in the bucket.
Right. 0.004%, I think, to maybe 0.01% of the military budget. That's how small it is.
And we definitely spend more on VIAGRA.
Yeah. One report that I saw, I think the estimate was around $40-some million on VIAGRA.
Oh my God! What?
Yeah.
How much VIAGRA do they need?
God only knows.
What do they use all that VIAGRA for? I mean, I know what it's used for, but what do they need that in the military for? We can only speculate.
Yes, we can only speculate. So the other interesting thing about Fox was Tucker Carlson had Vice President Pence on the night that Trump announced via tweet that he was planning on implementing this ban. Pence, as your listeners might be aware, was a big proponent of this. He was pushing really hard for an amendment in the House to ban transgender servicemen and women from serving, particularly, again, citing bogus talking points about the cost and so-called, negative impact on military readiness. Tucker had Pence on and declined to take the opportunity to question Pence about this. Did not come up once. So, of course, given Pence a pass on what he had been doing behind the scenes. Because, again, he had recently been pushing very strongly for a House amendment that surprisingly failed in the House of Representatives. 24 Republicans crossed sides with Democrats, actually, to block that amendment.
What I think is so interesting about this is, I think that I don't want to say anything too definitive here, but it kind of feels like the war over the LGBT stuff, the culture wars,
right?
Kind of over. It kind of been won, and I don't mean to say that in like a dismissive way, because I know there's still a lot of work to do, and the fight it goes on, and that's always going to be the case. I think that there's always going to be a fight for full equality as long as we're alive. But I think that the war for public perception, I just think there are a lot of people who just don't care anymore. You know, do I really honestly care if I'm a soldier?
Well, so that's the thing. I think personally, I think we have to be careful about that. What we saw, I mean, looking back at how the media covered Trump, for instance, on LGBTQ issues back during the election, he was painted as this like pro, LGBTQ Republican. Because he said he was. And the media really, most of the media, or a lot of people in the media, took him at face value at that. Now, he gets elected, and certainly his actions since being elected and actions prior to actually during the campaign shows that he's actually not, and that they're going to do what they can. I mean, we might think that the culture wars are dead when it comes to LGBTQ issues, but it's not for them. They're very upset by the progress that's been made, and this group of conservative Republicans are working really hard to be able to roll back all of that progress that's been made over the last 8 years. And so we shouldn't discount that and think that just because they're on the wrong side of history and they're on the wrong side of what current public opinion is, doesn't mean that that's going to stop them.